Hey everybody, this is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous good-looking friends. So Meghan is making headlines on the front page of tabloid magazines, but probably not in the way that she expected it to be. Or maybe it's designed that way, but nevertheless, it's not a good look. It does look like the United States tabloid magazines do not find Meghan Markle any more interesting because she's no longer being mentioned even in a small little blurb on the cover of these tabloid magazines. So now she's resorting, or at least I think that her PR team are resorting to magazines such as Closer, Heat, the ones that her, I guess, on and off mouthpiece Scobie had been connected to. So what we're seeing in Heat magazine this week is shifting all the blame, of course, onto Prince Harry and his negative optics that he has been giving out. And Meghan, so-called, is claiming that she wants her old life back. Well, to be honest, I don't think her old life was so great. I mean, if we think about it, she was hustling, trying to shell every product that she had, put herself with, and then also trying to scrape to make it in Hollywood. I hardly find that something or a life that you would want to go back to. My guess is that she really does regret that she did leave the royal family because, she didn't realize what she had until she left it. And now she realizes how dumb and stupid she looks now and how far they have fallen. And right now, no opportunities seem to be coming her way. And I think that she understands the power of the royal family and their connections, that I will be willing to guess that she secretly every day wishes that she could go back. Here is how I believe Meghan is throwing Harry under the bus. The article begins and says, "He's been looking royally glum of late, failing to even raise a smile at Beyoncé's LA concert and keeping a low and somber profile during his recent visit to the UK. But last week, Prince Harry was back in his element, being the Cheshire Cat, grinning cheeky chappy we know and love, as he kicked off his beloved Invictus games in Germany. And I'd have to add in there, without Meghan. And that could possibly be the reason why he looks so excited. The annual event, which former soldier Harry founded in 2014 to honor and support wounded, injured, and sick servicemen and women, has long been the so-called jewel in the prince's crown. And although that crown has slipped in recent times as his relationship with the royal family has soured, he's consistently been praised for his dedication to Invictus. Remember that feeling of pride and honor when you first wore your nation's flag on your uniform?" An emotional Harry, 39, told the auditorium full of veterans and serving soldiers on opening night. Am I right in saying, for some, it represented a cape, perhaps a shield or an escape? For others, an opportunity, a recognition, or a calling? For a former working royal who's gone from serving his country to completely estranging himself from it and his family who represented over the past few years, his words resonated more loudly than ever. Okay, I'd like to know, in what way are they positioning this? He completely turned his back on his entire country, completely sold his family out for a few pieces of silver. I mean, who is he resonating with? Just a question. I mean, we all know the drill here. Harry's words completely fall on deaf ears, and the media, however they keep spinning these positive aspects of the speech, they are failing to recognize that people are not stupid. They see him for what he is. You cannot change the fact, no matter how many puff pieces they keep pushing out. Anyhow, back in his happy place, Harry was finally wearing his cape again and following his calling. Of course, no one recognized this more than wife Meghan Markle, 42, who flew into Dusseldorf a day late before quickly putting on a united front with her husband, if you could call it that. I mean, she saw how much attention he was getting, and she couldn't have that. No way. She came in and grabbed that microphone immediately and sucked the air out of the room. I mean, her presence in itself was a buzzkill. Taking the microphone at a party held by one of the contest sponsors, Meghan joked about her tardiness and mentioned their children, Archie 4 and little Betty 2. "It's so special to be here. Sorry I'm a little late to the party," she quipped as Harry looked on. "I had to spend a little more time getting our little one settled at home. 3 milkshakes and a school drop-off, and I just landed a couple hours ago." When you see this in print, you have to wonder. Meghan pays this woman, Ashley, who I'm not really sure if she is just yesing Meghan to death, telling her that everything that she comes up with is so fabulous and so great. You know, like it makes no sense to me how her PR global press secretary would say, yeah, that's a good idea. Everybody is going to relate to getting milkshakes and then flying across the ocean and being used as an excuse for why you're late. Like, it's so ridiculous and so stupid, but perhaps maybe Ashley really needs this job and she's just tolerating it for the paycheck. Who knows? But quite frankly, I don't think Ashley's going to get a job after this because whatever Meghan is doing, it's surely not working and no one is believing any of it. Now look how they delicately worded this. While the Sussexes reign triumphantly over proceedings, we're told their presence at Invictus was bittersweet. After all, it was soon time to return to reality, one that Harry is only now coming to terms with. Having repeatedly lashed out against his family, he's reportedly no longer on speaking terms with his father or brother. Well, why is that? Well, it's because you married the harlot. Meanwhile, rumors are rife that he and Meghan are at odds over their plans moving forwards. Well, what plans do they have? They really have nothing left. What I see coming out in November, which is going to be more lies, is that book by Scobie, which we all know Meghan and Harry have been helping with. That's just my opinion, but we all know that they have a hand in it. While she's steaming ahead and determinedly leaving the past behind, we're told Harry's feeling more nostalgic than ever, and it hasn't gone unnoticed that in recent months, their unbreakable bond could be starting to fray. The question is, for Harry, where does he go from here? Harry knows he's made his bed and now he has to lie in it, says an insider close to the Sussexes who have been accused of cashing in on their grievances with the royal family with a multi-million-dollar docuseries and book deal, including Harry's incendiary memoir Spare. There's no talk of walking from their lucrative deals, but Harry just wishes they could find a compromise as far as returning to the UK more often. He knows he has to get behind Meghan and support her in their new life, but he misses home and he's forever hoping for calls from his dad and brother that never come. Oh, boo-hoo, Harry. Why do you have to be behind Meghan? Why is she not supporting you? She's the one that pulled you away. Nobody is to blame but your wife. Let's be clear about that. And Harry, you need to take some responsibility as you're part of the problem. So stop crying about it. And Meghan, go off and do you. Just leave the world out of it. Nobody cares to see your ugly looking face and the mark of the beast pop out of your forehead every time you are not the spotlight of attention. So stop reminding us that Satan is walking the earth. We get that. Harry accepts their situation, but there's still a lot of what the hell have I done type moments. Well, maybe get off the drugs and then you'll stop having these types of moments. Having first been lauded for telling their side of the story, the Sussexes have since sparked some backlash, with critics accusing them of milking family pain for profit. No, really? Spotify also pulled the plug on their $20 million podcast deal, accusing them of being grifters. All in all, it's been a jarring experience for both, especially in contrast to the fanfare they received when they first arrived stateside. Meanwhile, in May, it was reported that their 5-year marriage was in troubled waters after Harry was spotted spending time at the exclusive members club San Vicente Bungalows in Hollywood, and was also reportedly keeping a hotel room on standby near their home in Montecito. While a spokesperson for the couple vehemently denied rumors of a rift, yeah, that would be Ashley, the slave behind Meghan, the fact that Meghan was later spotted without her engagement ring, which was supposedly being fixed at the time, only fanned the flames. Sources tell us Harry's been left feeling adrift in LA, yet his footing when he returned to the UK earlier this month was equally unsteady. After crossing the pond to attend the Well Child Awards in London, which poignantly fell on the eve of the first anniversary of the Queen's death, speculation mounted that Harry would finally sit down face to face with his father and brother. But according to insiders, the opportunity came and went with no olive branch offered. Well, because the tree is dead. I think all those branches have been broken off, and there's no more olive branches left to give, guys. Rubbing salt in the wounds further, Harry was reportedly snubbed from an intimate ceremony held by the king. At Balmoral, paying tribute to the late Queen, Harry instead paid his respects alone at her burial site at St. George's Chapel in Windsor. Having accused Prince William of physically attacking him when he stepped down from royal duties and claimed that his father said things that simply weren't true. It's hardly surprising that the red carpet wasn't rolled out for him when he returned to British soil, but the silent treatment spoke volumes and, according to our source, left him reeling with regret. The media needs to understand that nobody feels sorry for Harry. They're painting this picture as if he was the one that messed up and now his conscience is eating him. Well, the only way back is to fully admit that you lied, you purposely hurt your family and sold them out for money, and just own up to it. Because anything that these two do, it doesn't matter how much rebranding they try to saturate the media with, it's just making them look worse and worse, if you know what I mean. It pains Meghan to see Harry tied up in knots like this, our insider says. I call bullshit. Meghan is tied up in knots over the fact that nothing that they're doing is working, and the world is hating them more and more as they continue to keep pulling off these PR stunts. It has nothing to do with Harry, and she's blaming him for her failures. She knows how tricky things have been, so this isn't a case of her dismissing or minimizing his feelings. Oh, yes, it is. This is about her. But at this point, she really thinks he needs to pull himself together and look forward instead of backwards. There's no way out of the Hollywood game at this stage. That's their life now, and she loves it. Well, she loves the fact that she is back in Hollywood and has caused so much destruction. She sees how she's able to control Harry and to affect the world in such a divisive way. This is what gets her off. There's nothing he can do to change the past, so why beat himself up about it? That's pointless. And as far as Meghan is concerned, is playing into their critics' hands. Well, you know what? It's not critics' hands. This is fact. You messed up. Both of you messed up. You lied, you manipulated, and you abused your power to get to this point. So all of this falls on them, and they don't want to hear it. But guess what? TRG is here to remind them and to be that thorn in their side to make sure that people do not forget all the nasty things that this couple have done and have yet to acknowledge and fess up and own it. So, Meghan, you can take your positivity because wherever you go, this big fat dark cloud of TRG is going to shower all over both you and Harry to remind you how you abused an elderly couple, you abused your own family, and even as much as to say is that you have these two invisible children and the fraud that's being committed in the public space, should be called out. And that's what we're here for. Anyhow, I continue. She's telling Harry they need to be strong and positive as they embrace this exciting new chapter. Like, what new chapter? There is nothing going for this couple at the moment. Everything around them has turned to shit. As Meghan herself has hinted, said new chapter involves her big return to social media with a lucrative relaunch on Instagram and the resurrection of her lifestyle blog, The Tig. We're told her eyes are firmly fixed on the future, and having put on a united front with Harry in Germany, she's saying he needs to now return the favor and embrace their transition from lapsed British royals to LA royalty. No. Like, seriously, stop making it sound like Meghan did Harry a favor by gracing everyone at Invictus with her presence. In fact, she stole the spotlight from those veterans, and people need to raise hell about that. Like, she didn't sacrifice or do anything selfless for Harry in that situation. She completely hogged the event. So, no, don't spin it as if now Harry owes her to support her in this wonderful breakout endeavor of her becoming this influencer. Like, really, the Mexican community has more influence than Meghan has at this point. She's reminded Harry that it's bad optics to be seen as downbeat or negative, adds our insider. Well, it's also bad optics to look like you're manic and mental. In Hollywood, everyone has to be on their A game, not walking around with the weight of the world on their shoulders. In the months ahead, they're going to be out on the scene, networking and embracing the limelight. The sky's the limit, and as far as Meghan's concerned, Harry needs to get on board and embrace it with open arms. As for now, one thing remains clear. The Invictus Games reignited a spark in the fallen prince. Whether that propels him forward or sends him spiraling even further back into his regretful past, only time will tell. Well, I think with Scobie's book coming out, I think we're going to be revisiting the past. I just have a certain little hunch that this is what it's going to be all over again. And instead of Meghan and Harry opening their mouths again, they're using this mouthpiece to express their grievances once more. That's just my bet. But what do you guys think? All this greasy looking and allegedly stinky smelling woman has left is this Tig. And they keep dangling that it's coming. Well, we know it's going to come. And I guarantee that that too is equally going to fail, because no matter what she puts up on that site, we all know that it's going to be nothing but embellishment, lies, manipulation, and nothing of authenticity, because this woman is yet to show that she can be authentic and truthful. And until they fess up and say that they have lied and they are truly sorry, nobody is going to take this crap and believe it. As much as she wants to push it onto the young people, when you don't come across as genuine and you are inauthentic and have been proven to lies, there's nothing good that's going to come out of it. And no matter how much PR and money that you pump into it, this is going to be a sunken cost. I think, Meghan, save the pennies that you have left and just go off quietly for the next 10 to 20 years. Maybe when your children are older, if they do exist and they come out and they write a book, maybe you can grift off of that. But for now, baby girl, please just give it a rest. Everybody is tired of your thirsty efforts to become Instagram famous. You missed it. You missed the window. It's done. You're over and you're washed up. Let it go. Save the money that you have and hold on to just the very little that you have left, because it's not much. Anyhow, guys, what do you think? Definitely leave your thoughts below. I'd love to hear your thoughts about William coming to New York. Overall, I think the trip was positive, and without the fanfare and the publicity that he got, he didn't have to pay for that. Let's be real here. You can spot someone who is genuine and authentic and really trying to do something good. I have been trying to analyze and read up on the initiatives that he's working on. And so far, I'll be honest, like, he is not putting himself in the places where Meghan and Harry have been jumping on bandwagons. He's actually taking action and trying to affect change in the most positive way. Yes, his dodgy relationships or engagements with certain people of the WF is concerning, but at the same time, he was specifically clear in stating that he needs investors. So these are the people that have money. So what are you going to do about it? You just have to hope that this is with genuine intention and that he is doing this for good. And until he has given me a reason to call him out, I think overall this trip was positive. But doesn't mean we take our eye off the ball. We still have to watch what's going on because we are seeing some very alarming things, especially with freedom of speech and what they have been doing in the media. We know that propaganda exists. And thank you, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry, for showing us how corrupt and bad the media is and how manipulating they can be, especially with their reporting. The whole reporting on the Invictus games with the Daily Mail, who once was completely anti-Sussex, has now gone pro-Sussex. You know, you look at that and you say, well, these journalists do have responsibility for the way the public thinks and swaying opinions and so forth. And when it becomes clear that they are pushing certain agendas to get clicks, you know that it's equally selfish and intentional. The positive press that the Sussexes have received over Invictus, I felt like I was in the Twilight Zone. And, you know, that even further makes me realize how the media cannot be trusted and how at some point, I think, even though we are all fighting for free speech, I think there should be certain consequences that happen to these journalists who lie and push out misinformation. And I think if you're going to put laws around certain things, then I think there should be laws enforced around propaganda because it is harmful to the public. But anyhow, that's just my opinion. Please leave yours down in the comment section. And as always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
It was such a fraud.